Hello everybody, it's Obsidian here. Today we're going to be talking about taming. I've got several lovely volunteers here, and this is going to be the third installment of our Quickfire tutorial series. Let's begin. I am in God mode, so I'm going to just fly over here. Today we have our first example of how to knock out a dinosaur, a Sarco. Now this is in a rudimentary taming cage. You can use these to just drop things in it and tame them like I'm about to show you. So we can knock out tames in ARK in several different ways. The first way that you're probably going to come across is the bat. Now this is useful for knocking out small creatures like this lovely volunteer right here. Like this compy. It's useful early game, it's great. Later game, it'll get you dead. You can also knock out things with this bad boy right here. It's called the slingshot. But unfortunately, pretty much these two options, including punching, run the risk of actually killing the creature that you're trying to tame. Now, we have another option that you're going to run across early game. You're going to go ahead and make these trank arrows. This is the combination of a regular arrow and narcotics in your inventory. You can just convert them. You are probably going to start off with this, a regular bow. You can go ahead and do this a couple of times. And usually it'll knock whatever you're trying to knock out. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the more common option once you get to mid-game, the long neck rifle and darts. The darts can be made in the smithy, I believe. This guy is kind of angry. There are mods out there that will actually tell you the torpor of the dinosaur that you're trying to knock out. This one right here, though, only took a little bit. Now, once you get something like this Sarco knocked out, you're going to want to go over to its inventory. Remember, in the previous videos, we noticed the torpor bar. This torpor bar is going to be an indicator on how unconscious the dinosaur is. You force feed narcotics to the dinosaur to make that bar go up by hovering over it, selecting it, and holding E. It will force feed the dinosaur. The next thing that you need to do is you have this little indicator right here that says put food in inventory to tame. Several different dinosaurs have different ways of eating and different ways of knocking themselves out. This one's a carnivore, so of course we're going to go ahead and throw some raw meat in there. Now this will start the taming meter, and eventually, if we give it enough time, it will actually tame out and you can control the dinosaur. That's the first example. You're probably going to not knock out a Sarco on your first couple of days. Your first tame that you're going to want to go after is one of these flying little pteranodons. They love roaming around beaches, and this is another knockout tame. What you're going to want to do when you run into one of these is you're going to run along the beach. You take this item here. It's called a bola. It's stone, fiber, and I think hide, if I remember correctly. Something simple, early game materials. You're going to hold the left click, get it in a nice spin, and boom. Your pteranodon's on the ground. Now, you can either beat it with a stick, because you are in early game, and you can just knock it the hell out eventually. But so we don't kill it, we're going to go ahead and just do that. Again, with the inventory tame, move the bola. Meat eater again, you're just going to knock it out that way. Most of the creatures in the game are going to be this type of tame. Alright everybody, we're going to now take a look at the second type of taming method in the game. This is called a passive tame. There are two types of passive tames in the game. There are passive creatures, and then there are aggressive creatures. An example of an aggressive creature would be, say, the Hyaenodon or the Mantises. And an example of a passive creature in the game would be this cute little guy right here. Kind of looks like a little puppy dog thing. It really has no use whatsoever, but we're going to use it as an example. Now, this is a passive tame, which means that you will go up to it and you will feed it directly. It does not pull food from your inventory. It actually pulls food from your 0 slot. So whatever preferred food the animal has, whether it be berries or in this case rare flowers, you put it in the slot all the way towards the right-hand side of the screen. You can go ahead and feed it to this little lystro right here. And look, we've got ourselves a lystro. Awesome. Isn't that cute? Alright everybody, we're going to move on to our third type of taming. This is going to be for very few types of creatures in the game. They are knockouts with concussive force. One of the examples of a creature like this is going to be the lovely Carcanos that we have right here. Look at him, isn't he cute? And then we also have like the Rock Golem and the Titanosaur, which are all concussive tames. Now, this bad boy right here, you're going to want to hit him with a catapult. Now, unfortunately, I set up my trap really bad, but I can still get him. If you set up your trap, you're going to want it actually pointed more towards your catapult. And when he does that little dance right there, that we saw him do before, that one right there, and he dips down a little bit, you actually, there we go, he did it again, you actually got him right. Now, it's going to take a couple of hits, it's going to take some practice with it, but usually if you can get it lined up in space just right, you want the tip of your catapult to be actually aiming right down this little crease right here. I did a piss poor job at setting that up today, but generally, that's how you're going to want it to happen. Again, when you get it knocked out, you're going to put food in its inventory. It's a meat eater. And be careful, because it will grab you through this fence. The best way that I have found to actually get this guy inside of these little triangles right here is you're going to use a large bear trap and a friend. One friend is bait, runs it into these two that are already pre-set up into your trap. Then your friend that is right behind you off to the side will come along in, and when it is trapped, it will actually put the gate right behind it. So there you go. That's a crab trap. That's the third type of taming in the game. Well, everybody, I believe that covers it for the basics of taming and ARK Survival Evolved. Happy hunting, and see you next time.